Hi there. So it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and happy Monday, everybody. Today is Monday, October 12th. I can't believe how fast October is flying by. But I guess that's probably when you get into holiday season, that's how time flies. But speaking of holiday, I'm going to show you today, well, first it's a Slimline card, which is the fad nowadays, but it's got to be the fastest Christmas card ever. But it has a little bit of wow to it. So if you're looking at sending out Christmas cards and you want a quick card, but one that will be, remembered or impress your friends, I got the card for you. So we're going to use the Snow Wonder stamp set. And I'm not even going to show you the card before because I want you to watch my whole video. And it's so easy and fast will be done by the time I show you the card. So first I'm going to start with a piece of red foil. Now I've already cut this. This is 7 3/4 by 2 3/4. And now you don't have to worry about the measurements. You can go to my blog, Be Creative with Kathy, and all of my measurements for my cards are always on my blog. And let's talk a little bit about a Slimline card. So I did a swap. In fact, this is the swap that I did for with some of my demonstrator friends, and we were talking about what size a Slimline card is. And I think that there is no set size. It depends what size envelope you have. So I happen to have a size 9 envelope, so I'm going to make a card that fits in my size 9 envelope. And I'm going to start, like I said, with a piece of Whisper White here. This is thick. I like to do thick Whisper White when I'm doing card bases. But first of all, I want to cut a piece to match my red foil paper. And I said it was 2 3/4. I want to make my cardstock, or my white piece, my white layer, an 1/8 of an inch smaller. So I'm going to make it 2 5/8. And I'm going to cut that. And then I want my card base to be 8.5 by 3.5. So I'm going to cut my cardstock down to 7. Because it was a full sheet of cardstock, which is 8.5 by 11. And so then I'm going to cut it down that way, and I'm going to score it at 3.5. Get rid of my cutting blade and just score it. So now I have my card base there. And this piece, we said it was 2 5/8, but now I need to cut it down to 7 5/8 so that it fits, drum roll, on my foil piece. Okay. So there we go. So that was my one sheet of cardstock that's going to make the whole Slimline card. And if you're wondering, the red foil sheets are back. They're in a package. With green foil sheets, you get 4, 2 of each color, 2 red and 2 green for $10. So that's a pretty good deal. And like I said, it's in the, oh, I got ink on my paper, doggone it. It's in the mini catalog, in the August to December mini catalog. I believe on page 22. So if you want to find the foil paper, that's where it's at. And if you don't, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. And if you don't have a catalog, you let me know and I'll be sure and send you one. So this is the piece. Let's make sure that I cut it right before we go on. And look, I did just that little thin border of red around there. And I'm going to stamp on here. So like I said, I've already got my stamps mounted. And I'm going to bring in some shaded spruce and real red ink. Now I just inked up my ink pads. So if you're having trouble getting a nice image with your ink pads, give them a little bit of ink. I can't believe the difference because I was struggling trying to get a good image and then a little bit of ink, and now they're very happy and cooperative. Look at this. So there's little words sending you blessings, peace, and magic this Christmas season, which I think is great. And then while I have my red ink out on the inside of my card, up here in the left-hand corner, well, kind of in the corner, I'm going to just go ahead and stamp my Happy Christmas right here. Try to get it straight. So it looks like that. And now look how happy my ink pad is after I gave him a little bit, he was thirsty. Give him a little bit of ink. Now with the shaded spruce, I'm going to just take my trees here and just stamp one down here in the corner. And then I'm done with the inside. I'm going to set that aside to dry. And then on here, I'm going to set one. And now I'm making sure that the base of my tree here is what's straight. This stamp set I think is a little bit deceiving, and sometimes it's hard to make it look straight. But there we go. And then another tree right here. And there you go. So that's all the stamping I'm going to do. I told you this was a really fast card. You put all this away. So let's go ahead and take some seal. Here it is, some Stampin' Seal and a little bit of tape. And adhere this down to the red foil with just that itty bitty border. But really, when you use things like foil sheets, designer series paper, it can make a fast card have a lot of pop. Because now look how pretty that is with just that little bit. Can you see it? Just that little bit of red foil on there, and then some dimensionals on the back of him. And so really, you think about it, for this card, all it takes is one color of cardstock, which is the thick Whisper White base, and then the foil paper. That's all you need to make the card. And really, this could be made with green foil paper or red foil paper. I think both of them would look really pretty. We might have to change the spruce to match the green, but it could be garden green, it could be old olive. I'd have to look in the catalog to see what color the silver, or I'm sorry, the green foil is. But look how pretty. We're almost done. And then remember all those red rhinestones that I talked about those last month? Looky here. So we'll just take those, and I take a pick tool here, and then we're gonna just lay down some of those red rhinestones, and you get like 220 in a package. Now, the only thing this would do is the little red rhinestones on here might add a little bit to your postage if you're going to mail your cards, as does a Slimline card. But oh, and last thing that I want to do to my envelope is I want to take a little bit, I put my ink away, here we go, of this shaded spruce ink, and then I'm going to just stamp a little tree down here in the corner, so that way I think now when someone gets my card for Christmas, they'll remember it. So as I was saying though, the Slimline card I believe costs a little bit more to mail. So you could take something this simple, especially with these rhinestones are definitely going to add to postage, and you could make a card that looks like this. Now this is your regular 5.5 by 8.5. I did the same thing. I stamped a simple tree here, the same greeting up here. Instead of the rhinestones, I brought in those adhesive back sequins, and now you get 260 in this pack, and they come, I mean, look how cute they are. Just add a little bit of bling. They're totally flat, wouldn't add extra postage. Now on mine, I popped it up on dimensionals, but you wouldn't have to. You could put that like a flat card right there. So I hope you like my card today. It's a very simple Christmas card. You might be seeing it if you're on my Christmas list. I'll be sending out some cards. And also thanks to Holly Finney, who posted a card like this. I cased this from her on the Demonstrator web Planning Place, which is a Facebook group for us demonstrators. So she came up with the idea. So if you're interested in quick Christmas cards, but you want to give it that little pow to help your friends and family remember it, I suggest you use like a foil paper or maybe a designer series paper. Stampin' Up! Has a designer series paper sale right now, and all their designer series paper, I shouldn't say all of them, but they have, I think it's 15 of them that are less than $10 when they're on sale. So you can go to my online store, check out the designer series paper sale. Like I said, if you want to see the measurements for my cards, you can always go to my blog. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you back here Friday about 1:30. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.